Bubba Wallace was in third place. Then one restart at Martinsville changed everything. One move, one reaction, and suddenly he wasn't just out of the race. He dropped 9 spots in the standings. His whole season got destroyed. But what really happened on that lap? Was it on purpose, or did he just mess up? On lap 324 at Martinsville, everything changed. Wallace was running mid-pack in his Toyota, frustrated all day. Then Carson Hocevar made one aggressive move that triggered the biggest blow-up of the race. Wallace didn't just retaliate. He drove straight through Hocevar on national television, causing a 12-car pileup that ended both their days differently. But the real damage? It wasn't the cars. It was Wallace's championship hopes getting destroyed. This is the story of how one restart move and one moment of rage cost a top-tier team a 9-position points drop in 8 days. Sunday's Cookout 400 at Martinsville looked like a solid day for Bubba Wallace when the afternoon started. The team brought a competitive Toyota. The setup felt right in practice. Wallace was fast enough on Saturday to turn heads, actually winning the session. But Sunday racing is different. Something clicked wrong between Saturday and Sunday morning. The car that dominated Saturday turned into a frustration machine on race day. Wallace spent hours fighting the setup, trying to find grip, trying to stay in contention while better equipment ran circles around him. The frustration wasn't just about one bad car. Wallace was starting to feel stuck in his season. Through 7 races, he'd finished in the top 10 4 times. His best result was a 6th-place finish at Phoenix, but he had 2 finishes outside the top 30 in the past 2 weeks. That's not championship performance. That's a driver trending down. And Martinsville was supposed to be different. It's his favorite track. It's where he always runs well. It's where he knows every inch of pavement. By lap 324, Wallace was running around 15th place. Not terrible, not where he wanted to be, not where 2311 Racing expected him to be. That's when the restart happened and everything shifted. Hocevar lined up ahead of Wallace on the restart. When the green flag dropped, Hocevar made a move that shocked the broadcast booth. He went 3 wide into turn 1. 3 wide at Martinsville. That's not normal racing. Denny Hamlin broke it down perfectly on his podcast after the race. He called it a gutsy move, but admitted it was the kind of thing that rubbed drivers the wrong way. Hocevar was taking advantage of the fact that everyone checks up harder at the start of a restart. He slipped to the bottom and tried to gain ground while other cars were slowing for the first corner. Wallace saw it. Wallace felt it. Wallace didn't like it. But here's what nobody expected next. 2 laps later, the caution came out again. Another restart on lap 325. This time, Wallace was directly behind Hocevar. The green flag dropped. Wallace accelerated into turn 3. He gave Hocevar a massive shove right on the bumper, a shove designed to send a message. The first hit didn't spin him. There was a stack up of traffic ahead. Cars were compressing. Drivers were braking hard. Wallace and Hocevar got caught in it. Then Wallace hit him again. This time he didn't just nudge. He drove straight through the back of the number 77 Chevrolet. Hocevar spun. His car turned sideways across the track. 12 cars behind couldn't stop. They piled in. But then came the shocking part. Wallace's car was destroyed. His race was over. He finished 36th. Meanwhile, Hocevar limped away from it. He stayed out. He kept racing. He finished 17th. The guy who caused the wreck got the bad day. The guy who got spun ended up ahead in the finish. After the race, Wallace went to the booth. He sat down with Fox Sports, and he said something nobody expected. He said he didn't mean to do it. "I misjudged," Wallace told them. "I didn't appreciate the 3 wide into turn 1. I misjudged the center of the corner in turn 3. I didn't mean to turn him. What a frustrating day, man." Was he being honest? That's the question that split the NASCAR community. The replay showed multiple hits. The contact looked intentional. But Wallace's explanation made sense. His car was struggling all day. He was tired of fighting it. Then, Hocevar's restart move pushed him over the edge. Denny Hamlin believed him. Sort of. On his podcast, Actions Detrimental, Hamlin broke down exactly what happened. He said Wallace was frustrated and wasn't running as good as he was expecting to run. He pointed out the gap between Saturday practice and Sunday race performance. Hocevar's 3 wide move was aggressive but legal. Here's the thing about 3 wide moves on restarts. Drivers have to check up harder for the first corner when they're far back. Hocevar was in row 8. He knew guys ahead of him would brake early. He took advantage by staying out to the bottom. That's smart racing, but it's also the kind of move that makes drivers angry. But then Hamlin said something important. If he had to do it all over again, and if he knew the result, sure, he probably wouldn't do it. He's thinking the result, he's just going to knock the 77 up the racetrack, get him back, and keep going. But the problem was, once he got him up, he just kept going, and it was just a huge pile up. Hamlin understands the emotional side. He gets why Wallace reacted, but he also knows one decision cost Wallace everything that day. Jordan Bianchi from The Athletic added more context. He said Wallace had been frustrated for weeks. He had no top 5 finish all season. He was leading the series in stage points, but couldn't convert it to final results. His car couldn't click on Sunday. Hocevar's move on the restart was the match. Wallace's frustration was the gasoline, and the corner was where it exploded. Marco Andretti even took a shot on social media. He called it poor anger management. But the real consequence wasn't the social media comments. It wasn't the embarrassment. It wasn't even the destroyed car that Wallace's team had to haul back to the shop. It was the points, the championship points. Before Martinsville, Wallace was sitting 3rd in the NASCAR Cup standings. 3rd place, top tier, fighting for the championship, running strong, looking like 23XI Racing had another contender. After the wreck, he dropped to 11th, 11 points positions in one afternoon. One moment where Bubba Wallace slams Carson Hocevar changed his entire season trajectory. 2 weeks earlier, he'd already had a rough race at Las Vegas. He dropped points then too. He went from 206 points sitting 3rd to needing 147 points just to catch the leader. That's a championship-level hole. That's months of grinding just to get back to where he was before Martinsville. And in NASCAR, momentum matters. Points matter. Wallace wasn't just losing position. He was losing momentum at the worst possible time. And the weird part, his team was still fast. The stage points proved it. Wallace was leading the series in stage points. That means he was fast in short spurts. He had speed. The car had potential. But on Sundays when it mattered, something wasn't working. Martinsville was supposed to be different. It's his favorite track. His Hardee's sponsorship was on the car. Everything lined up. Instead, it all fell apart on lap 325. The NASCAR season had an off weekend for Easter after Martinsville. Wallace had 2 weeks to think about it, 2 weeks to replay the restart, 2 weeks to wonder what would have happened if he just stayed calm. If he didn't react. If he didn't drive through Hocevar. Would he still be in contention? Would he be sitting 3rd instead of 11th? Bristol Motor Speedway comes next on April 12th. That's where Wallace has to reset.